The film begins with Jessica Martin, a high school biology teacher, walking her son to his school bus. After waving goodbye, she returns home to finish her chores. Suddenly, criminals burst through the back door, shattering the glass and shooting the alarm system. They execute Jessica's maid and abduct Jessica to an attic. The gang leader, Ethan, breaks the only phone to block her calls for help. Distressed by the events, Jessica attempts to fix the broken phone and reconnect the wires. Against the odds, she manages to make the phone work. She calls randomly and connects with Ryan, a jovial man recently dumped for his lack of responsibility. Jessica informs Ryan of her kidnapping. He initially thinks it's a prank but is persuaded to inform the police. At the police station, Officer Mooney sends Ryan to the detectives dealing with the disturbance. On his way, Ryan hears Jessica's screams over the phone as Ethan demands her husband's location. Ethan threatens her, mentioning her son Ricky's school. Jessica begs Ethan not to harm her son, claiming a misunderstanding. Understanding the peril, Ryan proceeds to the detectives. The phone signal weakens as he climbs the stairs, and Jessica's voice becomes intermittent. She warns that losing the call means her death. Ryan must reach Wyman's school before the criminals. Following Jessica's guidance, Ryan searches for Ricky's classroom. Not finding him, Jessica instructs Ryan to take the phone to Ricky in the administration office. As Ryan asks for directions, the school bell rings, and students flood out. Jessica, hearing the bell, tells Ryan to hurry to the pickup spot. Ryan arrives at the parents' pickup point just in time to spot Ricky, but the boy is swiftly abducted by the kidnappers. In a desperate move, Ryan commandeers the school security officer's car and gives chase. To his dismay, Ryan's cell phone battery begins to fade, and he scrambles to find a charger in the car, only to discover the security officer's gun instead. Stopping at a store, Ryan requests a charger but is told to wait his turn. Frustrated by the delay at another counter, he retrieves the gun from the car and coerces the salesperson at gunpoint to hand over a charger, although he insists on paying for it. Meanwhile, at Jessica's residence, a message from her husband urges her to meet him with their son, hinting at trouble he can't fully explain. Ethan, the gang leader, confronts Jessica with this message, demanding she reveal their meeting place. He forces her to the window, where she sees her son held captive by another abductor. In a futile attempt to fight back, Jessica is overpowered by Ethan, who threatens her son's life. Under duress, Jessica divulges the location of a bar in LA. Once Ethan departs with his crew, Jessica confides in Ryan over the phone that her family is in mortal danger, having witnessed the kidnappers' identities. Officer Mooney retrieves Jessica's address from the DMV records to investigate the morning's complaint. Upon visiting her home, he encounters a woman posing as Jessica, who assures him all is well. After Mooney leaves, the imposter alerts her accomplices about the police visit. Ryan, still on the phone with Jessica, seeks information about her husband to attempt a rescue. He follows Ethan's trail to the bar. During the call, a cross-connection occurs with a lawyer conversing with his mother. Ryan's pleas for help are dismissed as a prank. Tracking down the lawyer, Ryan confiscates his phone at gunpoint after his own connection is lost. A sudden collision with the trawler leaves Ryan demanding the lawyer's car as well. Armed with the lawyer's car and phone, Ryan races to the bar. At the airport, he snatches a boarding pass and infiltrates the premises. He plants his gun among the kidnappers' belongings to alert security, but the suspects reveal themselves as police officers. Ryan learns they are rogue cops and informs Jessica. He spots a man resembling her husband Craig but soon realizes it's a case of mistaken identity. Meanwhile, Ethan's gang captures the real Craig. As Ryan pursues them, he discovers the lawyer's car has been impounded. The kidnappers reunite Craig with Jessica, coercing him to disclose the location of a crucial videotape. Under threat of Jessica's execution, Craig reveals it's in their safe deposit box at Centurion Bank. Jessica informs Ryan via phone that her husband has been taken to Century City, prompting Ryan to head there in a taxi. Officer Mooney, watching the news, hears of a gunman demanding a charger and a lawyer reporting a carjacking by a man aiding a kidnapped woman named Jessica. Mooney grows suspicious and requests Jessica Martin's number from the telephone exchange. Calling her home, he's greeted by a voicemail in a different voice than the one he heard during his earlier visit. Craig requests the safe keys from a bank officer, while Jessica, still on the phone with Ryan, begs him to prevent the kidnappers from taking the tape, fearing they will be killed once it's in their possession. As the kidnappers secure the tape and prepare to leave, Ryan manages to incapacitate one of them. Ethan grabs Craig, but in the scuffle, Craig drops a camera, which Ryan snatches before fleeing to the building's roof, pursued by Ethan. Ryan escapes but accidentally drops and breaks the lawyer's cell phone. Outside, he spots a Quicksilver towing service van, recalling the officer who had impounded the lawyer's car, which also contained his own phone. In the cab, Ryan examines the camera's footage, which shows Craig's real estate work, including houses and incriminating evidence of Los Angeles police detectives. Ethan, his accomplices, and Tanner, another officer associated with Mooney. The footage reveals the officers executing drug dealers and seizing their money. Suspicious, Officer Mooney visits Jessica's home to verify the situation. Finding no response, he enters through the back and discovers the glass door shattered by Ethan's earlier intrusion. Bayback, Ethan's accomplice, shoots at Mooney, grazing his neck. Mooney returns fire, fatally wounding Bayback, and is disturbed to learn she was a fellow officer. At the impound lot, Ryan seizes an opportunity to reclaim the car while the lawyer is preoccupied arguing over the release fee. Ryan is relieved to find his phone inside. Meanwhile, Tanner visits Mooney at Jessica's home, where Mooney expresses concern for the real Jessica's safety and recounts being shot at by a policewoman. Tanner feigns reassurance, hiding his knowledge of Mooney's ignorance of their scheme. Jessica attempts to repair the broken phone connection. When the guard outside hears her, he assaults her and demands to know who she was calling, threatening her life. He is caught off guard when Jessica, using her knowledge of anatomy, slashes a vital vein in his arm. Seizing the moment, she escapes. Ethan returns with Craig and is informed by Detective Tanner that Bayback has been shot dead by Mooney. Ethan orders his men to return to the bank to retrieve the video and the person who took it. Jessica finds her son in the shed, tells him to hide, starts the car, and smashes through the shed to free him. As she tries to escape, Ethan confronts her, holding Craig hostage to prevent her departure. Ethan inquires about the youngster who absconded with their videotape at the bank. At that moment, Ryan extracts Ethan's cell number from his phone's memory. He calls Ethan, proposing to exchange Jessica's family for the videotape. Concurrently, Ethan confides in Tanner, who informs Officer Mooney they've apprehended the individual who burglarized the cell phone store. Mooney suspects it's the same person who reported the kidnapping and joins Tanner to identify Ryan at the rendezvous. The group converges on the bustling Santa Monica pier. Ryan, in disguise, negotiates with Ethan, but his ex-girlfriend recognizes and exposes him. Mooney, also present, recognizes Ryan and attempts to approach him. Ryan flees, but Tanner captures him and notifies Dimitri. Tanner dispatches Mooney, needing medical attention, to the hospital with Dimitri and takes Ryan to Ethan, who seizes and destroys the videotape. With Dimitri, Mooney overhears Tanner instructing him via radio to take care of Jessica Martins. Mooney also hears Deason, another kidnapper, suggesting they wait until reaching the safe house. Realizing Tanner's deep involvement in the kidnapping, Mooney subdues Dimitri as he attempts to draw his gun. Ryan's friend Chad distracts Tanner long enough for Ryan to dive into the water. Tanner follows Ryan's trail to the boathouse and alerts Ethan. Tanner shoots at Ryan, but Ryan incapacitates him with the surfboat. Ethan then confronts and overpowers Ryan. Ethan aims his gun at Ryan, but Mooney arrives and confronts Ethan, demanding he release Ryan. Mooney shoots at Ethan, who flees and conceals himself in the boathouse. During a pursuit, Ethan shoots Ryan in the leg. Mooney loses track of Ryan, but Ryan, observing from afar, sees Ethan sneaking up behind Mooney. Ryan dials Ethan's number, causing his phone to ring and betray his location. Mooney locates Ethan by the sound and fatally shoots him. Meanwhile, Jessica strangles Deason with her handcuffs from the van's back seat, where Craig and Ricky are also detained. Jessica retrieves the keys from Deason's pocket, freeing herself, her son, and her husband. As Deason regains consciousness and aims his gun at them, Ryan intervenes, slamming him against the car and knocking him out. Medics tend to Ryan and Mooney, while the police arrest Tanner, who feigns innocence. However, Ryan has already transferred the video recording to his phone, preserving evidence against Tanner. The police escort Tanner away, and Jessica, reunited with her family, expresses gratitude to Ryan. Wondering how to repay Ryan for his heroism, Jessica receives a light-hearted response from Ryan, suggesting she never call him again. They share a laugh, and Jessica kisses him, bringing the movie to a close.